some reason, I'm having a little bit of trouble with my main mic, so hopefully this other one's going to be okay. There we go. There's YouTube. So, tonight I'm just going to be talking about some rando stuff, and I'm going to get joined by Doomer for a little while. Probably not going to be talking about anything crazy, just kind of nonsensey stuff. Right. Seriously? Why does nothing ever just work? Like, all I want to do is get. Yeah, okay, with video on? I don't know. Oh, nothing works when it's supposed to. Nothing ever works. The more I try. Yeah, okay, that's sure. Let's just make sure all this is all right. Test. Test, 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 test. Of course it's not going to work. I don't know what the fuck's wrong with that thing. So we're just going to use this. Test, test, test. Cool. All right. So I'm going to send him the invite now. All right. So I think one of the things I mean, it's really just going to be nonsense stuff today. I'm not really in a mood to do anything in depth. I couldn't get anybody online who wanted to join, I guess you could say. Um, why do I have a red dot on my OBS? Why does my goddamn mouse never work? Maybe that just means it's streaming. Wait. Oh, it is. Okay. So we're just going to wait for him, and I'm going to drink my Clyde Mays bourbon. Good soup. Oh, for God's sakes. I'm so sick of the holidays already. I'm fucking can't stand it. What am I? Is the audio capture working? Well, we'll find out in a minute. Yeah, sure. Show notifications. Why not? Not really a super lot going on, with everything going on with the holidays. I just haven't really been following up with any kind of news or anything like that. I've been trying for the longest time to get somebody from Ireland. I'm really big into this Ireland for the Irish thing. And I actually kind of wanted to talk with Doomer about that. And, me and the missus went there in 2019. We like to laugh and say that we were patient zero for COVID in the States. And it's a really beautiful country, which I will say once you get the fuck out of Dublin. And the thing is like we were in Dublin and it's cool, but it's just like a big congested city. It's just tons of fucking people. Like the whole time you're walking around in Ireland, you maybe meet like two Irish people. Like everybody else comes there to work and stuff, which whatever. I mean, hey, it's the EU. They have the ability to do it. It's fine. But usually they're there during, they're working for school or maybe they've moved there for a bit, but they're coming from identical countries with that. Awesome. Identical cultures and so forth. But now we have the proverbial migrants welcome, people kind of like just letting tons of you know, refugees come inside, or go inside. I shouldn't say come inside because I'm not there. And, I understand there's a very large portion of the uh, populace there that's not really for that, and they kind of understand that in the metro city and things like that, that yeah, there's going to be some immigration, there's going to be people moving there, there's going to be people wanting to come from places to try something new, but usually it's from other European countries. And most of them aren't even, this isn't even, they're trying to turn it into like, oh, a race thing, but most of these people don't even want like Ukrainian refugees there, because the thing is Ireland itself, I wouldn't actually say it's a super wealthy country. I mean, it does all right for its people, but in the grand scheme of things, it's like, how are they going to house all these people? They have their own problems. They have their own people that they have to deal with, and things that they have to fix for themselves, and now they're dealing with this influx of, mostly like everywhere else, younger migrant men. And this is the thing that kind of, I think I've probably stated this before, um, when it comes to the migration and things like that. It's all, that proverbial fighting age. Oh, hold on, there's Doomer. Hey, can you hear me? Uh-oh. Let me let him know. I was muted and did not know. So maybe I'll wait for him to get on here, because there's a point I always like to say about this. And I'm going to go on the venture that this, it is swaths and swaths of young fighting age working men. But it doesn't seem like they're willing to acclimate or do any. I mean, let's not beat around the bush. They're committing crimes. Not all of them, of course. Let's do, oh, he's racist. He said they're all. Sorry, maybe download the app. And now I quit. Technology. And I would love to get other people's opinions on this, but there's like two or three people I follow from Ireland, and I've been trying to get them on. And it almost happened. I got suspended from Twitter, again, for like a week. Um, and I lost that chance. I've been trying to reach out to the guy or people again to see if I can get them to come on, because I really, really want to get firsthand, you know, uh, like testimony of this. You know, I really want to see, because of course, the powers that be who are just loving this for what I don't comprehend why. I've still been trying to figure out why they're doing it, because they're not doing it out of the goodness of their heart. They're not doing it for the betterment of the country. They're not doing it for the society. There's definitely some ulterior motive, and I'm sure they're being paid off by somebody above them, and they're getting EU money or whatever. But I've been saying for a long time, I think Ireland's going to be, I think two things. Ireland, in fact, I wrote about it on Fructose. I did a whole thing and I posted occasionally that I really do believe like Ireland and Italy are going to be the two countries that sort of break the EU. I really do think that they're just going to have enough. Um, I'm trying to sign in and have to verify from my phone. All right. Ah, I'm losing track. Well, nobody's in anyway right now. I don't believe so. Whoops. That's not what I wanted. I was trying to figure out how to do uh, remove keyframes are not being sent off enough, which can cause, I don't fucking know. Let's see if I'm streaming on YouTube. It's saying that there might be an issue. Nope. Nope, it's there. I have an old account. Okay. So I don't understand the purpose of why they're doing this. And here's the problem that I see, especially in something like Ireland, and only because I've been there and I've seen the demographic of the country, not in like a race or ethnicity sense, but as in a populace versus population sense. Like, we have an electoral system because we don't want to see states like New York and California and Chicago that are super vastly overpopulated have an overwhelming, you know, arm on top of places that might be more rural. So we have that situation, we have that system set up so every part of the country gets a say on how things are run because what works over in New York City probably isn't going to work over in like Tennessee. So, there are certain people that want to keep things the way they are. They like their land, they like their space. They don't want to see things get rezoned. Whereas in the city, they don't care. Now, when we were in Ireland, it's kind of the same situation. You go in Dublin, and there is such a large swath and diversity of people that, which I'm not going to lie, I don't know if they have full voting rights, which is why I wanted to get somebody. Oh, he thinks he's in now. Yay! Hey! All right, you there? Can you hear me? Okay, I want to see if I can hear you coming in. Yeah, I don't hear it coming through the audio for some reason. I can hear you in the. Oh, hold on. Nope, nope, it's my fault. It must have swapped around. All right, say something now.
Check one, two. Check, check.
I'm listening. The delay. All right, it's
So what?
it's it's working now. I think. Did you just say check
Okay.
1 2 again?
Check one, two. Check one, two.
Hold on.
Hmm.
I can't tell if it's you saying check 1 2 or if it's the audio capture. Say something else besides check 1 2.
Body positivity.
Okay, give it a second. Okay, that you didn't say body positivity again, right?
I only said it once.
Okay, then it's working. It's coming through. When you said that, there was this old I don't know if you've ever seen them. Way back in the day, there was this old like skits. You remember the old PSAs they used to do at the end of GI Joe episodes?
Public service announcements.
Yeah,
Maybe like I don't know. Like knowing is half the battle or something. Is that?
yeah. The knowing is half the battle things. There
Yeah,
was
yeah. I
there.
never watched it, so I'm not quite sure, but I remember something like that.
Yeah, GI Joe. Yeah, so it's the knowing is they used to do like hey, oh no, we started a fire in the kitchen, and then fucking I forgot the firefighter's name would come in and he'd tell everybody like you got to be careful with grease, like cooking grease, man. But there was there was like a whole swath of like this dude actually overdubbed all the PSAs, and there was this one with Roadblock. He was like the big diesel like black dude, and
Mm.
I forgot what the original PSA was, but all he did was he pulled up to these two kids and they're like, "Oh man, it's Roadblock. What are you doing here?" And all he kept saying was body massage. I mean, it sounds so fucking dumb, but when you watch it, like you're just like, "This is so stupid. I can't help but body massage." I'm gonna try. I'm gonna actually build a soundboard for this eventually. I'm just gonna build like a digital soundboard, and I think I'm gonna take that as one of the fucking sound body massage.
Okay. Are we live now?
Oh
Or
yeah, it's live. I've been just like prattling
okay.
on, but no, I don't think anybody's listening yet. No. So, which whatever, I get hits afterwards. But what do you call it? No, I was talking about this. Uh, I was talking about and I know you don't follow a lot of stuff, but I'm not sure if you follow this. The have you watched at all the things going on in Ireland right now? Like the Ireland for the Irish?
Uh, I mean, I'm aware there's something going on there. Yeah, I mean, I guess they always have problems on and off, right? Throughout the generations.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's always something going on in Ireland. I mean, it's a rowdy crowd, rowdy crowdy, but
But
um,
yeah, someone got killed or whatever, a kid got killed,
no,
right?
I
Is that
think that was London or
supposedly?
France, and that was
What's
another.
that?
That was like London or France or something, and that was another big thing. That's like what happened here.
Mm,
I guess like a Pakistan kid or something, Pakistani kid, or but the kid had a record. He was trying to like outrun the police, and then I think he tried to run over the police, and the police fucking shot him. And
mm.
if it was France, you don't fuck around in France like with the police. They're not like the UK bobbies who like don't carry guns and they're all overweight. Have you ever seen the fucking videos of like the fucking the UK bobbies?
I've seen a couple of those videos when they pick up some guy for tweeting the wrong thing.
Well, even
Like,
then, but they're all
but
like fat, and then like the person usually
yeah.
just beats them up and then runs.
Oh, though, no, I don't think I've seen those videos. No,
Yeah, no,
that
it's
sounds like a
hysterical. There was
who?
one where, which I mean, I'm gonna say this, it's gonna sound fucking sexist, but it is what it is. So like I've said this before, and even my woman says it. She goes, if I'm in trouble, do not send a female cop. Like, I don't want a female showing up to protect me. It's just not going to work. If I can't protect
Yeah,
myself, she's not going to be able to protect me. So there was this
yeah.
hysterical video of a dude getting arrested by a female cop, and he ended up like taking her down, and then I,
Oh, I think I did see that one,
yeah, he took her
like a
down
recent
and then
one.
took her
Yeah.
car.
Oh, yeah.
And drove off in her car. It was like, come
Yeah.
on.
Well,
There was that old Robin Williams skit. It was live at the something. I can't remember what it was. We used to have it on VHS and we'd watch it constantly because I mean we didn't really have cable, so we just watched
mm.
and listened to tapes and stuff. But he used to make fun of like the police in the UK and be like, "What are you gonna do? Like you don't have guns." It's like they're literally just gonna run out and go stop, or I'll say stop again. Like it's just dumb. So, but no, in Ireland, basically, they're kind of being forced to take a shit ton of migrants, and the there's like a whole swath of the the country that's like we're not really for this. But the problem is I think a big what I was trying to say before is there's a big portion that's like oh migrants welcome, but I honestly believe that big portion is Dublin, and Dublin is like what I was trying to do was compare it to like our electoral system where we have areas like New York City, which are super densely populated. So they're going to outnumber, that city will outnumber most states. So we have to create a system to where every part of the country gets an equal say, regardless of how densely populated it is. I don't believe Ireland has that same thing. So I believe in an area like Dublin, they're going to almost outvote the more rural and less dense populated areas of the country.
Hmm.
So they're being inundated, and it's really true. I mean, there's a lot of the countries they're coming over. They're rapes are skyrocketing, attacks are skyrocketing, just crime in general. And then on top of that, now they have to house all these people, and it's doing the same thing like what's happening here, where migrants are getting preferential treatment over the actual citizens. Now, mind you,
Hmm.
also at the same time, Ireland is not like it's a first world country, but it's not like overtly wealthy. I mean, I don't think they're the kind of country that's going to have unlimited funds. And I think what they're doing is getting a lot of these funds from the EU to bring these people in for whatever reason. That's basically the gist of it.
Yeah, yeah. I've heard some bits and pieces there,
Yeah.
for sure.
I mean, like I know you usually have a pretty good logic on why this happens. I mean, like I have not yet been able to put my finger on it really, aside the people are being like the people in charge who are okaying this are basically being paid off. Like I don't understand
What are we trying? What are we trying to put our finger on exactly?
why they're actually allowing it. Like why is Ireland now
Well,
mind you, I think whatever the prime minister of Ireland is actually like I think he's Indian or something like that. Supposedly he was like born there, but
yeah,
who
I've seen
knows?
them. Yeah, I've seen
Yeah, he's like Indian and gay. Like he's got like I guess the,
him.
which I often wonder. Like, are these? You know, I have my doubts that Buttigieg is even gay. Like, do you ever
I don't know who that is.
Pete Buttigieg?
Yeah, I don't think I know
Oh, he's
who's
like
that.
our transportation secretary under Biden. He's like Uncle Pete. Like the big thing was basically he ran for president. He's gay. That's
The
like his
the
big thing.
cross-dressing bald guy,
No, no,
white
no, no,
guy?
no, no,
No.
no,
Oh,
not him.
okay.
No, no, no. Pete Buttigieg. He's useless Pete. But
Okay.
look him up. But like, did you ever see the Harold and Kumar movies?
Um, is that the White Castle movie? I don't think so.
No,
Um,
yeah, Harold and Kumar go to White Castle.
yeah,
There's a, you know who Neil
I'm
Patrick Harris?
aware of him.
Yeah, you know who Neil
Yeah,
Patrick Harris is, right?
yeah, the
Doogie.
Doogie Howser.
Yeah. So you know he's gay in real life.
Yeah.
So in the movies, he plays himself, but he plays himself not gay, and the whole being gay is just like a con that he's doing
Okay.
because it helps him to pick up chicks. So it's
Yeah,
like,
that's funny.
oh, dude, it's his. Those movies are so stupid funny. Like me and her fucking love. The first time we watched them, we were like, this can't be funny, and we fucking died, and we've watched them all like multiple times
Hmm.
because they're so dumb. But I often wonder if most politicians who claim they're gay are really gay or they're just NPHing. Like they're like,
Well, yeah, I mean, it's kind of interesting. To me, this is at the crux of the Weltanschauung of anyone who, I suppose, doesn't think they know everything all the time about and doesn't trust all the people around them that say that they know exactly how things are. Um, so you have this sense that you were talking about the so what do you drive? So I just want to make sure I make this point to
oh
the
no,
right
for me, I was just
point of
actually,
yours.
I was just being funny. Like
Yeah,
it
yeah,
was just, it was me basically me being like myself and just being so distrustful of any politician that I don't actually believe even the ones that are gay, like the
yeah,
guy in Ireland,
yeah.
are
So
really gay or they're just
yeah,
trying to find
okay.
check boxes.
Yeah, no, I think my point will carry here. So I've always had this I don't want to say sneaking suspicion. I think I had even as a child some pretty rock solid evidence, especially when it came to school, and because of like certain circumstances,
Hmm.
personal circumstances of myself, I had a very I had a different path in school than a lot of other kids, but I also had like their path as well, and then like in addition to it, I had some weird stuff,
Hmm.
and you just start seeing that education is the entertainment business, right?
Oh yeah.
That science is the entertainment business. That politician, like politics, is the entertainment business. That sports is the entertainment business. And once you understand that, and of course, I moved out to Hollywood in my late teens, and I worked there for a long time, and I worked in a lot of different parts of the entertainment industry, and I saw it all fit together, and all my like, if you want to call them sneaking suspicions or just observations I had growing up before I actually saw everything kind of firsthand and how it fit all together,
Hmm.
and how there's this chasm between the people that produce the entertainment and the viewers of the entertainment, and this suspension of belief that you have when you're watching uh, or it's suspension of disbelief, you could say, when you're watching a movie, right? And then we talked about this the other day when you can be taken out of that uh, because of some sort of mistake in editing, or bad editing or bad writing or bad acting, bad directing. It like takes you out of the moment. Um, so people get taken out of the moment very often with everything, but then they're so loyal, almost how like if your favorite band made one amazing album, but like 10 albums later, you're still their biggest fan, and they've only done garbage since then, but you're still waiting for them to give you that, that squeeze. Uh, and so and it was just strange because growing up, I thought I caught on very quickly that the president, right, the politicians, they changed, say hi to the new boss, same as the old boss, and nothing ever changed. And the grown-ups would get all, I'd hear them saying all the same things that they heard on television to one another. And I'm like, oh, that guy heard of that there. And he says this to her. And they're like arguing back and forth. Like those are their ideas. And I'm like, I watched those get implanted in their head. And I watched them repeat these talking points like parrots. And I watched them actually believe and get taken away thinking that, not understanding that politics is show business. And it's all like, cui bono, like who benefit, like just follow the money, and,
Yeah.
and you'll find all the impetus you need to figure out how that industry works. But every industry, absolutely every single industry you can think of, when you break it down, and whether it's in the technology fields, fields of arts and sciences, fields of artisanry and craft, arts and music, anything like that, no matter where you go, it's all entertainment at the end of the day.
Oh yeah, it is.
News, and people just don't get it. They don't see how that all meets, and they don't they don't want to see the wizard behind the curtain.
You know,
And it's go
oh,
on.
sorry.
Yeah,
No, no,
sorry.
no, no, no. Go
I
ahead.
think I made my point for the most part.
Now, I was just gonna say because I just wanted to bounce off what you just said, where I don't think they see it, but it's almost like I'm getting to a point now too, where I feel like they do see it. Like they do see it, they know
They
it,
do,
and they don't
and they
care.
won't. No, because they just keep consuming. They're stuck up in the
Yeah,
moment,
yeah,
and
exactly. Just another
and
fake.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And also, people would like to believe that they're the arbiters of truth,
Yeah.
and that they can also discern
No.
fact from fiction.
Yeah. Everybody wants to pretend to be an intellectual.
Yeah,
You know.
that's an interesting thing, right? Because and I don't know why it is. It's a little like that with muscle. Like you know that, like you get treated differently because of the amount of muscle you
Yeah.
carry on your frame.
Oh, 100%.
Um, and
Both good and bad.
Yeah, exactly. The good, bad, the ugly.
Yep.
It's just a factor in the way people see you and the way they understand you, the way they filter everything you do, say, the way you look, the way you act. They filter it all through that,
Mm-hmm.
and we all do that with all sorts of traits.
Yeah.
Um, but muscle is not nearly as bad. Right? There's this sense of, especially around other people that are like slightly muscular or they're used to being the in shape guy, or right? You know what I mean? Because they don't have a paunch, but
Yeah.
um, and they think they're doing okay, and then whatever. But guys, bros that go to the gym, they're around each other all the time, so that's like they see like the top 1% all the time, but most people don't. Anyway, but something about intelligence, like a lot of people can say, "Oh, I'm terrible at basketball, I'm terrible at sports, or I'm terrible at this," and like they have no shame in it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Terrible at underwater basket weaving, whatever.
Yeah. But to say you're
I,
dumb.
yeah, I'm bad with languages, any of these things, but to think that you're gullible, right? No one wants to think that they're gullible
Yeah.
whatsoever. They can know they're dumb,
Yeah.
right? And they can brag about it. I know a lot of people. I've met so many people, right, who are like, whatever, not very intelligent, we're just not high on the IQ scale, not good at like whatever discernment in general, not good at picking up on patterns. They learn slowly, whatever. Um, and they know this about them. They'll brag about being stupid, almost like they stand on it, right? But
Yeah.
if and but if you say like, oh, that thing you believe may not exactly, that reality TV show you believe in, like Cribs, or was that one with the exhibit, the cars and
Oh,
stuff?
pimp my
Uh,
ride.
yeah. So like this is all fake. Publishers, clearinghouse, all these things. Like, do you not? People don't understand. But if you tell them that reality TV is fake, so many people, Survivor, they just don't want.
Yeah.
Especially those talent shows like American Idol. They don't understand. Those are produced,
Yeah.
right? They set up stories, right?
Yeah.
They have story arcs, and they have like, oh, and you are picked for the role on the way you look and the way you carry yourself,
Yeah.
just like an actor auditioning for a role,
Yeah.
right? So it's not about talent. So like people that lose that, they can't take it personally. It's like it's the same way if you go on audition for a certain role, like, and you don't get it. It has nothing to do with your ability to act. It's just like they have a picture in their head, right? The casting director has a picture in their
Of
head,
what they already
and it's
want.
not you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
No, it's
just not
true.
you. That
It's funny because we used to watch. I don't know if you know it. It's a show on Food Network called Chopped,
no,
and
no, no.
it's like a food competition show. We actually used to like it, and then it got to the point where it was like, you know, you would see the contestants come in, and then they would be so basically it's like an appetizer, a main course, and a dessert, and they compete that way. And whoever they eliminate a person every round. So the point is in between every round when the judges are tasting whatever they made, they'll be like, oh, this, that, and this about the food. But why are you in this contest? We don't care why they're fucking in the contest. I don't need their
Yeah.
fucking life story. I don't give a shit if this person dies in a fire tomorrow. Like, just eat the fucking goddamn souffle and tell me if the fucking souffle is good. Like, that's your. And that's
Yeah.
when I got to a point. Me and her were like, this show is so fucking fake,
Yeah.
and it's like 90 Day Fiance has a huge following, and we
Yeah.
actually used to like the first two seasons. We still watch it. Unfortunately, she still likes it. I am so goddamn tuned out of it now because it's so fake. And
Yeah.
there was a couple of subs I was on in Reddit before I got kicked off of them. And oh my god, dude, do you want to hear something crazy? This is a completely different topic.
Sure. Oh, can I just wrap that up and just close
Oh
that
yeah, I'm
before
really
we go
sorry.
into the crazy thing? So yeah, just but that's what I'm saying. That if you say that their favorite cooking show, like, is not 100% genuine or
Yep.
real, or Judge Judy, oh gee, people believe Judge Judy is real. So anyway, um,
Oh, my
if
buddy was
you
almost
tell
on
the
Judge Judy.
yeah, yeah, and I've known people who actually like would just make up the craziest stories just to get on
Just to
there.
get
Anyway, it
on.
doesn't matter. Yeah, and it works, and they know it's a crazy, like, they know it's all because once you get in there, and then I don't know if your buddy he got on there, or
No, no, no,
um
no. It was like an eviction case. He has some rentals and stuff too, and they contacted him. He was evicting somebody,
okay,
and I think the person, I can't remember if the person he was evicting or they actually just look through pending cases
mm,
and then contact people, and they
that's
were like
funny.
willing to pay him all the fees, any of the back rent. The person, it was like crazy. He had
Yeah,
showed me the letter. He's like, I'm not fucking going. He almost did it, but then he's like, I'm not
yeah,
fucking doing this shit.
yeah. Because yeah, then you have to say what they tell you to say and
Yeah,
stand where they tell you to stand, and yeah. So,
exactly.
um, but this is the thing. It's people will admit fault in so many different areas. But if you think that you know something that they don't, or you or like, they might be a little gullible from their favorite teacher, like, or they might be naive. People lose. There's loser minds. They can't handle it. It's too much. They can't handle the cognitive dissonance of, I believe this thing and it's not true. And you can say that about anything that people like question about history, that are just drilled into our head, about the shape of the earth, about whatever, right?
Yeah,
It's people get angry. I mean, just look at the whole flat earth thing. People got pissed and it got canceled about something. If it really is that silly, then it's just silly. What's the big deal?
yeah.
Are you
I don't. It's stupid. I mean,
but
honestly,
hate,
to,
so much hate, like death threats because someone thinks the earth is flat.
yeah, it's ridiculous. It's everything's become sides. It's like this whole Palestine Israel bullshit. There's a dude that I had on a couple weeks ago, and we still kind of go back and forth online. He's a cool dude, and we were talking about that. And even me and him are like, we don't understand why people feel like you have to pick sides in this. We don't like. I don't care. Like, I really don't
Yeah.
care. I don't give a fuck about Israel. I don't give a shit about Palestine. Let them do their
Yeah.
thing. Let's ignore it. The same thing
Stay
about,
local.
yeah,
Yeah.
the same thing with like when we used to talk about the Ukraine Russia thing. It's like, I don't give a
Hmm.
shit. I really don't give a fuck. Make
Yeah.
my gas cheap and make my groceries cheap. That's it. Don't care. You know? But the thing, like you said, the hate, and that's actually what I was gonna go on to with the 90 Day Fiance sub I was on. I got kicked off. So like the new thing with the 90 Day Fiance is they're putting trans people on. And it's like,
Mm.
whatever, man. If that's your thing, I don't give a fuck. Do what you want to do. And but the thing was, is there's this one this season, and it's a guy. I mean, I'm always gonna stand by. If you're a guy and you get your wiener cut off, it doesn't matter. You're still a fucking guy. That's like, what's so funny is people love to talk about the trans issue, and it's like, well, not every woman can give birth. If a woman can't give, like, if a
Yeah.
woman has
Yeah.
an accident and then she becomes infertile, does that mean she's not a woman? No, that's dumb. And then by that same logic, if a man has an accident and a donkey bites off his dick for some weird reason, does that now make him a woman? No, it doesn't. They were born this and they're going to stay this. But anyway,
Yeah.
they were talking about this one trans woman, which there's a reason they're called trans women. But anyway,
Hmm.
I went online onto the sub and they were talking about it. And in this, I'm about 99.9% positive. This person said when she first met the guy, they got romantic before this person told them they were trans. And I'm like, and
How
I'm
did
gonna.
that happen?
What do you mean?
Well,
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 because
didn't you?
it or
I
it was
don't think
already
there's
post
surgeries
op.
that are that convincing. I mean,
To be honest, I mean, I'm not.
from what I've heard, and I've known some people who've had it done, and
Yeah,
yeah,
you know. Anyway, I don't want to go that. I don't want to make the yucky, and I'm not making the yucky noises at that. This is the way I always put it. All right.
no, but I mean, even picture, it's mutilation. Regardless whether
Oh, it
you,
is. Yeah, yeah, it is.
whatever your politics are, it's a natural instinct that the body has to think of someone having their genitalia removed and then having a wound in
Yeah,
them
yeah,
created that needs to be kept open all the time so it doesn't heal over like a pierced
yeah. They have
ear,
to literally
right?
insert something in there to keep it fucking
Yeah,
open.
so
It's like a
that it
piercing.
makes people squeamish. I mean, it's
Yeah,
those types of things, mutilation, torture, whatever, dismemberment, that's supposed to make you squeamish.
yeah,
It's and to say that you're not and for me it does, unfortunately. I well, I don't like watching any public displays of affection, really, but I but the ones that are like, the, doing the other stuff in your face, it's just like I don't know, but even just the thought of it, like I don't know,
yeah.
just the thought,
No, I agree with that 100%. I don't
it makes
really.
me squeamish, and you could say I'm messed up, like mentally, because it makes me
No,
squeamish.
I
But
think.
other things make me squeamish too. It's just
Yeah,
natural to be squeamish.
but I think most people are like that with like PDAs and stuff in movies. So like me and her were big into just to make a detract. What's the word I'm looking for? Like a detour for a quick second. Oh, the free one. The meeting's gonna end in 10 minutes. I think you can
Okay,
actually. I'll just create another one and send you a link. It'll literally take 2 seconds. But anyway, we watched Chucky. You remember the movies Child's Play?
I do. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So he has his TV series now, and
Mm.
there's two like gay kids in the show. It's like they're I don't know how old they're supposed to be in the show now, but when it started, they were supposed to be like 13 or 14, or maybe 15 tops. And it's like now they're getting into the area where it's like they're having like romantic scenes. And to me,
Mm.
it's like people like to freaking turn around and try and say, "Oh, you're hating on it because it." No, I don't really want to see young kids doing romantic scenes. Like, do you want to turn on Disney
Yeah,
Channel, Nickelodeon, and see kids making
it's
out? Like, that's fucking weird, man.
superfluous.
Yeah, you're a
I
fucking
mean,
peed.
yeah, and honestly, and I'm kind of a prude, but but you, but I just like, and
No, I
my
didn't know, but okay.
and my wife, well,
At least you
whatever.
weren't with me.
But my wife, she knows all the time, and I just can't, like, once I just can't stand superfluous sex scenes in
No,
any film, like,
no.
because it just gets in the way of the story. You're like,
It
what
really
the,
does. It takes
like
you out
it
of it almost.
if I want this and I don't, like, I'll go watch a porn.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna, like, why am I gonna interrupt my cinematic experience
yeah.
with this? And I know there's some
It's
people like
fluff.
Fontria and stuff that, like, they're trying to make their perverted statement about society, and so they use the, I don't know, but and I suppose there's a more artistic way, but it still always comes off to me that you could have made the same point in a more creative way,
Yeah, yeah,
by taking a
100%.
different route. And then I like, you watch a lot of these old Soviet films, they just, they embrace, and then they lie back on the bed and the camera fades and you get the point. Next
Yeah,
scene, right?
yeah, and
They're
end
like drinking
scene.
tea in the morning.
Yeah, fade out. Yeah, exactly. So, but no, but anyway, going back to what I was saying. So, it's so basically like this the trans person I guess got romantic with the guy before they told them that they were trans. And to me, I went online and I was like, to me that, and I've been kind of pushing this because I think it should almost be a law. Like like if you have AIDS, it's a law in a lot of places that you have to let the person know, right?
Mm.
So why is it not a law that you have to tell this person, especially if it's a guy, that like, hey, I was born a guy. If you wait until afterwards to me, like that's kind of like sexual assault, you know? It really is. So I went online and said that I was like, look, I think it's really disgusting that they waited till afterwards to tell this person because you don't know what's going to go through his head. Because there was actually a story out of Puerto Rico where these two trans chicks went to a club and met these two guys and fooled around with them in their car or something. Like they all got drunk, hung out, fooled around with them in the car. They didn't know their actual whole situation. For some
Mm.
reason, afterwards, they found out on social media because the two, you know, girls, whatever, were bragging about the situation. Like, haha, we fooled these two guys. Didn't realize the two dudes were like gangbangers. The guys went and found them, shot them, and burned them in the cars.
Oh, gee.
Yeah. So I mean, in the grand scheme of things, like you're really taking your own safety and to
You're
act,
playing with matches.
you
Yeah.
really are, and you're acting like somebody else should just be okay with that when they're not going to be. But I actually got banned off of that sub because they said you're being transphobic. I'm being transphobic because I don't want to put my penis, my wiener, into somebody else's fucking wound. Like, you know what I mean? Like you just said, it's just,
Yeah.
it's crazy, but it's that weird vitriolic hate. Now, mind you, most of the people, even the people on this sub, the mods who banned me, like if they
Mm.
knew, they'd probably fucking go nuts if that happened to
Yeah.
them. Or they would actually, if like somebody came to them, like they met this person, they're like, oh yeah, by the way, I was born a guy. They'd be like, all right, I'm out later, you know. But it's like you have to
Yeah.
pretend to have this vitriolic hate for something that's actually natural and logical. Like it really
Yeah.
is, you know.
Well, it's yeah, it's problem, reaction, solution, right?
Yeah,
Isn't it what David Icke is always talking about?
yeah,
They just create a problem
yeah.
in your
Well, it's
mind,
the communist
right?
handbook.
By going against like the the completely obvious. Now I understand, I I'm not close-minded.
No,
I
no, no.
understand
Neither of
that
us
like
are.
in the spiritual realm, I do think yeah, sex may not be a big deal, right? So it
Yeah,
like, in our spirits of spirits, maybe there's no sex, but to confuse something that's kind of immutable, part of this matrix
yeah, yeah.
like level that
This
we
dimension, this realm.
yeah, this is just these are the avatars we're given. Like we can't really do anything. It's not in the code to
No,
give us different avatars. You choose the avatar for the game, and that's you're going to be at a disadvantage if you try to Frankenstein your way into another avatar in a game that's not coded to
no.
make that happen. So,
But I mean, again, at the
um,
same point, hey, man, if that's what you listen, I'm selfish, not selfless. That's what I always say. So I always said this,
yeah.
like, I've mentioned this to you before. I've probably said it on here. It's like I don't really care. You know what I mean? If you want to do what you want to,
Someone's got to do it. Somebody
someone's
has to
got to
do it.
do it. But you know what?
Someone's
Hey,
got to make some terrible music,
yeah,
and some people have to like it.
yeah,
So it's just
yeah.
there's that.
You know,
There's just got to be. You just glad I'm not that person,
but I think people
and
are also taking that whole we don't really care to another level of, well, that means that we have carte blanche to force you to actually also believe what we want you to believe. And that's really kind of stupid,
yeah.
you know?
Well, yeah.
So
You're
it's
go
like,
on. Sorry.
no, 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 that's it. It's like, oh, you don't care? Well, then I'm going to push it to the next step. It's that proverbial give an inch, they take a mile, people.
Well, they want you to care. No,
They
it's
do.
also that proverbial toddler that doesn't get any attention from mommy and daddy, doesn't get the attention that they want. So that, they're throwing tiny tantrums and they're not getting the attention. So they throw bigger and bigger tantrums and they don't understand that like, mommy and daddy will love them much better if they please mommy and daddy, or if they
Yeah.
just leave mommy and daddy alone and let
Leave
them
them
sleep.
alone. Yeah. Go
And,
do what you
like,
want to do. Don't, you know what I mean? Yeah. And it's, I don't know. It's this whole. Well, I mean, it kind of goes back to what it originally started with the Ireland bullshit. It's like, they're
yeah.
pushing, pushing, pushing. That you give them an inch, and then people take a mile, and you know, it gets to a point where you sit back and don't care too long,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden you start to feel like you're the minority when you're not,
Yeah.
because you've
Well,
given the other side, so you've not paid attention so much that you
mhm.
did not notice how big of a situation they were. You zoned them out because they were screaming for attention and you didn't want to give it to them, and then it's like by the time you're like, okay, what do you want, you finally looked and realized how big the situation has gotten, and you're like, ah, shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
Well,
like,
that's a big moral crossroads there for everyone, to try to deal with that. Like, when is enough enough? And then it's like, do you end up retaliating way too hard, and then you rush everything back over to the other side, and the whole
Yep.
cycle starts over again.
Yeah, and the
And
opposite. And that's I really feel like that's going to happen again.
well, it always does, and you
Yeah.
can see like what's happening to the right now, like the where the right was kind of saner for a little while, and now it might go back the other way, and you just see it always kind of like flim flams back and forth, and they just they know what they're doing. We're very easy
Yeah, to
to
manipulate.
manipulate.
Yeah.
We're just we're an environment that can be coded for the
Yeah.
most part, and although there may be certain anomalies, um, the house always wins, right?
Yep.
It's
No,
just
yeah.
like the because that's the way it's set up. I don't.
There's always a backup for the backup, Like, yeah, even if what they're trying to do doesn't come out to a perfect fruition, there's
Mhm,
always a backup on it, you know.
exactly.
And I do believe that, like, they're always playing both sides,
Absolutely.
until it gets to a point. I'm really curious to see where it's all gonna go in the end. But oh shit, wait a minute, I gotta look and see when this. Wow,
It's less than a minute. It says.
oh, okay. You know what? Why don't we hang up and create a new one, and then that way we don't have to worry about it cutting off. Yeah, I see. It says 26 seconds.
Actually, I should probably go because like my wife's like waiting with dinner.
Oh yeah, no,
I
that's
just
fine.
told her I'd jump on real quick because I wasn't. But yeah, no, it's a very interesting conversation. Maybe we can continue it next week.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
definitely. Yeah, I didn't even intend it
because
to go this route, but it just did. I'm just gonna end up bullshitting about one more thing that I can't stand, and then that's it. So, but we got 4 seconds, man. So go eat
all right,
dinner,
cool.
and a nice talk to you. I'll talk to you soon. Oh, and it ended. Oh, excuse me. I'm getting off in a second, babe. Okay. Thank you. How was it? Fun? Okay. So, but actually, I'm being fed. The woman is feeding me. Actually, do you want to jump in on this one? All right. So there's a thing because I actually think you would have fit for this. Yeah, go ahead, babe. So, you know what? Let me just text Doomer back. Um, There's a new phrase that has come about that I have such a disdain for. It literally makes my butthole curl. Like, I don't understand where it came from. I hear everybody saying it, and it is fucking dumb. And it's this: somebody does something nice for you or doesn't, and it's, instead of thanks, I appreciate it, it's I appreciate you. And I think that is stupid because you don't appreciate that person. You don't know anything about that person. You don't know what they do, what they like. For all you know, they are a child pedophile murderer in their free time. And the simple fact that you said, I appreciate you because they bagged your groceries, validates their life and makes them go, I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing. So stop it. Stop saying that. It's a dumb fucking phrase, and everybody who says it should be hit over the head with a rock. It, it doesn't make sense. You don't appreciate that person. You appreciate the act that they did. And that is it. Don't perpetuate this idea that everything they do and have done is beneficial to you or society as a whole. You should leave people with the question on themselves: am I actually a net gain for everybody else? Or even not. Like, even if you're not, and that's, you don't want to be, you just want to go home and play fucking video games with your time, and you just go to work. That's cool. Do it, man. You do you. But in the grand scheme of things, if you're a fucking weirdo, who sneaks into barns and bangs barnyard animals, we don't want to say things like, I appreciate you. Because you don't appreciate them. You don't appreciate them. You don't appreciate anything else outside of that one little situation that you were involved in. And that's really all I'm going to actually say. How long have I been on? Oh, I've only been on 49 minutes, which is actually 20 minutes longer than I wanted to. So I am going to hang up. I am going to hang up, call it a night, and probably hit my vape and watch some Y-Files because there should be a new one tonight. Y-Files and then some RKG tomorrow. Yeah, that's it. Everybody, have a good night, have a good holiday, and a good new year. Eh.